Hello and welcome to my studio, and today I'm going to be doing like a little chatty little video, so feel free to grab a little drink, a snack, or maybe you're painting and you can have me chatting away in the background. Today this video is going to be for you if you feel discouraged by your artwork, or you feel a lack of confidence in yourself as an artist or your skills as an artist, and if you are just feeling like a little bit of maybe art block, this video is going to be such a big encouragement, hopefully, and hopefully it's going to kind of reignite that desire to create and that feeling that you are an artist and you are meant to be an artist. I have been traveling a lot recently. We went for our first little family abroad holiday with my young son, and he adored it. It was his first time on an airplane, and it made me think about how much effort goes into traveling, especially abroad when you've got to get on a plane. We live in the middle of England, or like the middle of the UK, and there's a lot of travel just to get to the airport. Feels like a lot of travel, and then you've got to go through all the security checks, checking in, you got to wait to board the plane, get on the plane, and then do the whole thing when you get there to the other side. And at this point, you're not even at your destination yet. All that effort involved, and it hasn't yet paid off. Yet when you finally get to your destination, that is where all that effort, all that journeying, all that energy pays off. Now, this is one of the biggest mistakes I see in beginner artists and people that know they want to be an artist or feel like they have that calling to be an artist, but are discouraged. Perhaps they've given up, perhaps they've put their painting supplies into storage. So if that's you, then I really invite you to kind of open up to see whether maybe you've given up on your journey just a little bit too soon. Because there's so much effort involved before you see the payoff when in that journey to becoming an artist. And it's interesting because all the really difficult parts of deciding to be an artist always happen at the beginning, you know, because you're learning more about yourself even as an artist, but you're also practicing so much. You're learning new skills, and in that time is when you probably don't really like your artwork that much or what you're creating that much. And so you have to deal with all those like feelings of, you know, maybe you've got like internal thoughts of, I'm not good enough, this painting is rubbish, I'll never be like so-and-so that you maybe seen on Instagram. But the thing is all those artists that you might look at and think, oh wow, like if only I could be like that and achieve my dreams like that. The only difference between them and you is that they've carried on in the journey. They've gone through that rough patch that you might be at right now, and they've pushed through it. Nobody gets to that point without having to go through that little sticky, difficult bit. And that's the bit I really love to help artists go through, because I think that's the most difficult part of the process. I used to feel very discouraged. Now you might think like, I've sold hundreds and hundreds of paintings all over the world. Oh, she's probably always been like that, always knew she was wanting to be an artist, always was good at art, anything like that. If that's what you think, then you are definitely wrong, because I used to hate my artwork. My artwork was terrible, and I still feel like I have so much to learn. But I remember going to a gallery. It was a school trip, so I was about 15, and we went with our whole class. We went down on a bus to London. We went to the Tate Modern Gallery, and everybody finished the whole gallery. I think there's like 4 or 5 floors. Everyone had finished the whole gallery within like 3 hours. And the teachers were like, okay guys, we're gonna get ready to go back on the coach. You've got about half an hour. And I was still on the first floor. Everybody else had finished like the whole museum, and I was still on the first floor because I was amazed and impacted like within me. And from that moment, I knew there was something in me that was just drawn to art and like the life of an artist. And I was just so intrigued by the paintings and how did they create that. And I was so amazed by it that I was only on the first floor still. So I was really disappointed. I had to go back another time to finish off the other floors. But my point being is that it wasn't until I was about 22 that I actually started really trying with my artwork. So all that time in between, that was like, you know, 6 or 7 years, I barely picked up a paintbrush because everything I made was rubbish. I didn't think I had it in me. I had no natural talent, and I gave up, I suppose. And then it was it was seeing other artists on Instagram that reignited that within me, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this another go, I'm going to give it another shot. And what really helped me was that I discovered a process. I kind of fell upon this process because I'm going to share this process with you now, because this is the process that made me see tremendous growth and my skills within 3 weeks to 3 months. My artwork looked like it was from a different person. Like literally, I would make something and I'd almost be like in disbelief that I had made it, because it was like, but that's too good for me. I can't make things like that usually. And so this is how I know it's a process that works, because not only did I go through this process, and which is how I know about it, but also I now teach this process, and over 800 artists have been through this process too and seen amazing results, and are also in disbelief of what they're making. So I know that it works. Now I'll do a quick rundown of this process, but if you want to go way more into detail, you can go to the description box, and I've popped a little link there for a free art lesson, and it's called Create Unique Artwork That You Love. And I break down the whole process. There's a workbook that you can download and go through with me, and we do a bit of painting, we do a bit of drawing, so it's super fun. So yeah, you can go to the description box, but I'll do a quick rundown of that process now. And the overview of it is, when you think about a dancer, I like to use the idea of a dancer, and it could be like an Olympic runner, it could be anything where somebody has a skill. Now, do they wait until they're at the Olympics, or do they wait till they're on the stage to kind of like practice and create a masterpiece all in one go? Does that Olympic runner or whatever it is, does he wait till he's there at the Olympic Games and think, okay, right, I'm gonna practice my running stride? Or, you know, of course not. There's so much dedication that goes in before that. And one of the big things I see artists trip up on is they're like, you know what, I'm gonna try and do some painting today. And they go buy a canvas, and they have this white canvas, and they've got this idea, and go to put this idea on the canvas, and it doesn't quite work out how they want, and there's so much disappointment. I know, because I've been there many times. and then you feel the discouragement set in. You can really start to self-loathe yourself when you can't make what you want, because you feel like it's something inherently wrong with you. And that's an awful feeling, because that's totally untrue. Everybody needs to learn the skills. And what I like about the idea of like a dancer, or kind of like this Olympic person, is that they train in secret almost. You think about, say, a ballet dancer. They've got to train in, like, maybe they've got a studio or a gym, and they will isolate the different skills involved. So maybe one day they might work on their flexibility. They might do certain stretches to really help their flexibility. That will improve their dancing. Or they might work on the musicality and really kind of get an ear for the music, the timing, and that will help them be a better dancer. And there's all these different skills involved in dancing. It's not just dancing. It kind of breaks down into different skills. And each of them, they practice those in isolation, not all at the same time, on stage in front of a crowd. And I think that is the difference. We see artists on Instagram and we think, oh, I'm going to get a painting out and I should just be able to paint a beautiful painting in just the first go or whatever it is. But actually, there's so much more involved. And the process that I teach, we take a skill in isolation. There's 5 core art skills. That's drawing, value, composition, colour and technique. And we take each of those in isolation and just focus on one of those at a time. And then at the end, we put them all together, and that's where you see amazing results. So it's very different to, it's very, very different to kind of like art classes that I've been to before or seen before. It's a very different process, but it is one that works, and I think that's why. So definitely go to the description box, check out that video, Create Unique Artwork You Love, because I really take you through each of these, and I kind of like start you off on your journey, or if you're on your journey, it's kind of like a little bit of a super boost on your journey to get you to the artist you want to be. So yeah, hopefully I didn't ramble too much there, and I'm hoping that it has inspired you to pick up your paintbrush, because the thing is, when you think, going back to the journey illustration, you might be on the way to the airport in your journey of an artist right now. You might be in the plane. You know, you might be in that plane that has just touched down, so close to your destination. You might be so close to really having that breakthrough as an artist. And you just have to have faith in yourself, most of all, and that you can do this. But you know, when you're sat on the aeroplane, heading towards your vacation, heading towards holiday, you don't think, well, I wonder if we're going to get there. We're probably not going to go on holiday. And yet so many of you are so early on in your like journey of an artist and kind of think, I don't think I've really got it what it takes to be an artist. So I really just want you to think about the way that you view your art and how you can be an artist, and kind of have that faith that you are on the journey, on the way to your destination. And if you're ready to take that next step, I would love to like coach you through that, because that is the trickiest stage. It's very, very difficult. There's a lot of things that come up internally and a lot of challenges that come externally that can prevent us from moving forward as an artist. So yeah, if you want a little bit more guidance, make sure to check out that free lesson. I think you'll get lots of inspiration from it. And yeah, see you there.